Welcome back to C-SPAN 1. At 6:30, Joseph Stalin tells us just what it was like to starve half the Ukraine, followed by our showcase on the world's fastest growing sport, squirrel eating. But first, YouTube legend RuudDevil settles things once and for all in tier list.
What up, YouTube? Alright, it's that weirdo back again, and today I thought I would take you through the Tiermaker. You've probably seen these going around like 3 months ago, but hey, I'm just getting to them now. There's thousands of these little things that people can, you can make your own tier set for whatever it is, whatever it is in popular culture, films, comic books, games, anything, you can set it to a tier list. And I'm sure you've all seen your favorite streamer do it for, I don't know, whatever donut they like. But today, since this is a Lord of the Rings centric channel, we're doing it for Biff Me Too and Lord of the Rings. So I've got 3 tier sets today. This one I've made myself, and then the other 2 were already made, because surprisingly there wasn't actually a Biff Me Too tier list. Surprisingly. I don't know, this is such a popular game. Anyway, so we've got Mithril at the top, obviously, and it goes all the way down into Wood League. And basically, I'm going to be organizing all of our heroes. This is not a measure of... I mean, technically it is measure of strongest, but like, it's like... If we take Gandalf, he's incredibly strong. Word of Power just nukes armies. But if you think within the context of the game, he's 5,000 resources. This is like Biff Me Too, like 1.6 I'm talking about, by the way. So he costs like 5,000 resources. He's not gonna be made every game. He's very much a late game hero. So the things that will probably be in Mithril are the meta picks. Things that you will always see in order to win. Now remember, this is me. I'm all about that objectivity. Did that rhyme? Maybe. I don't know. There's going to be no bias here, but just for starters, fuck this guy. He's going in Wood League. No more Shaku, and I don't want to hear anyone mention Wargs, alright? I will be putting links in the description box, so for the 3 of you that actually check the description box, you can make your own tier list, or you can just comment away how you would have done it. Alright, so we started off Shaku in Wood League. I haven't actually scripted this. I'm just sort of doing this on the fly. I spent most of my time making this, and it was fucking annoying. As you can see, a lot of the icons aren't straight from the game, because I couldn't find the exact file type that this website demanded, so whatever. Alright, so Boromir, I think, goes in Mithril. If you play Men of the West, you always make Boromir. Horn of Gondor is just too damn useful. Being able to stun your enemy as early as level 3. I mean, it was actually level 2 in the base game, but 1.6 we're talking about. It was level 3, and it was just so damn useful. Cheap, tanky, and he's got great CC. I don't think Gloin belongs Mithril. Like, he's usually the first one out the door when playing dwarves. Some people like to save up for a Dane. But I mean, Gloin is actually, like, didn't he, like, he used to be 1500, I think he's like 1100 in 1.6, you'll have to correct me on that. I don't think he's Mithril pick, though, because he does only have 3 abilities, and one of which is level 10. So, I think just for his tankiness, his slam, being able to creep, and, you know, do, like, just being unkillable, basically, in the early game, we're putting him in gold tier. Let's see, Shelob, I never use Shelob. I don't know if she's useful. Like, she can kill heroes and burrow, but, like, if you play goblins, you're just you're spamming out goblins in the early game. You're waiting till you get spider riders and half trolls. Does Shelob ever come out, really? I don't know. I think she might need to go in Wood League. Stone might be good, but no, we'll go Wood for now. Haldir. Well, Mithril, no. I mean, Haldir's actually a solid pick. We make fun of him all the time because he's like the chubby elf, dies at Helm's Deep like a bitch. But he's actually solid. Solid attack rate, versatile. Like, not the best abilities, but I think he goes in Iron. I think he's okay. Glorfindel, 1.6 Glorfindel. 1.0 Glorfindel was... 1.0 Glorfindel would honestly be Wood League. That's how shit he was. He had like 1500 health. He would die in seconds. Like, regular battalions would just kill him. But I think... I don't know. I think... Is he Haldir tier, do you think? I don't know. I think he goes Haldir as well. Gorkill. Now, Gorkill. You know how much I rate Gorkill. Those called from the deep. The hero killer, he gets a level 6 when he mounts up. Not only does that Ruud and stun targets, but it also silences them because when they're poisoned, they can't use their abilities. Call from the Deep is level 10 and he does cost a lot. I think he goes in gold. Honestly, I think he goes in gold. Maybe even Mithril. I don't know. I'm actually genuinely excited to see what you guys think about this because this is... I mean, this is just my opinion, obviously, so everyone's going to have different. I think Lurtz goes Mithril. Like, any Isengard player makes Lurtz right off the bat. He's got Scavenger, he's got Cripple Shot, and he's got Carnage. He's so difficult to kill, he does so much damage, and he gives you resources per kill very quickly. He is a must pick, he's a meta pick. I'm gonna be very surprised if people dispute Lurtz and Mithril tier. Arwen doesn't do much. She can heal, she can kind of run around. I've only ever got her to cheese, and that's just, you know, just see if I can get her Flood at level... Did they move her Flood from level 10? I think they did. But yeah, I'll put her in Stone. She's not... Actually, is she Wood League? I've only made her to meme. I think we'll put her in Wood League for now. Wormtongue? Wormtongue you only go for the level 10. Or at least that's the only way I've used him. And that's a big commitment. I mean, he can stealth, he can backstab. He's an afterthought. I think he's the Isengard hero you... He's better than Shaku. I have Wormtongue before... I make Wormtongue before I make Shaku when I play Isengard. But really, level 10 is his best thing, and that's a big commitment. It's hard to get him level 10. We'll put him in Stone League. Gandalf... I mean, when you actually get to the point where you have 5,000 and you don't want to fully upgrade your army... I've always found it so hard to resist making Gandalf over upgrading an army. Wizard Blast, Lightning Sword. He doesn't get anything. I mean, he gets Shadow Effects, obviously, but he doesn't get his Rule next ability to a Starry Light. Just because of his ability to just completely decimate unupgraded units. And just, he can really just power level through it as well. I mean, it is a lot of money. Is he at Gorkill and Gloin level? I feel like Iron isn't... I feel like I'm doing him a disservice if I put him in Iron. Alright, just because his ability to just wipe armies, we're going to put him in Gold. But I'm not sure about that. Elmer's a solid pick too. He goes into a lot of Russian comps. Mainly because I think he gets leadership, but also because he gets resources per kill. So we're putting him in Iron. Faramir levels up. I mean, I swear he leveled up the fastest in the base game. He killed like 2 goblins with his arrow or with his bow, and he would just hit like level 6. Leadership, Captain of Gondor. Good, but really nothing special. We'll put him in Stone. Fellbeast, I don't rate Fellbeast at all. I mean, they're cool for surprising, but literally 2 archers and it's down. Or 1 upgraded Athelion. I would actually... I don't know. I feel like Wood is a bit too... We'll put him in Stone. King Dane is another... I mean, he gets leadership. His level 10. I mean, King Dane's solid as well. Particularly with his Battle Rage. Which actually was better in the base game because it healed. So, I mean, you would just rush King Dane and Gloin. And then you would just pop heal. And then when they got low again, you would pop his Battle Rage to heal. What does he get at level 1? It's leadership, right? Leadership, Battle Rage, Stubborn Pride, and then his summon. Like, you can't really put any dwarf hero below Iron just because they're so tanky. Does King Dane win in hero fights, though? He comes across Lurtz, he'll lose. We'll put him in Iron. I think if we put him anywhere lower, he's... I mean, that's a bit of a disservice. Mouth of Sauron in the base game would be Mithril. But in 1.6, he's up to 2,000. They kind of moved around his abilities. I'm pretty sure his Evil Eye isn't the all-killing snipe. But he is a great harasser. He's like a tankier Nazgul, I'd say. With better, not crowd control, but he can like hex the enemies. I would put him in Iron. Nazgul, I put them in Stone. I mean, Nazgul are good, but you have to really micro them. But they can die so quickly if you're not paying attention, which is why I said you have to micro them. Dread Visage, Screech. Well, we'll put him in the same as a Fellbeast. Seems kind of awkward, I know, but that's just the way I feel about it. Let's see. Saruman can really power level, but as I said, he's expensive as fuck. Wizard Blast, Fireball. I mean, he gets like 4 of his 5 abilities in the first 5 levels. Once you get him, I mean, you really turn the tables. Especially since you can actually convert the enemies. So, I don't know. I don't think he's as good as Gandalf. I think we go with Saruman. I think if you're late game and you come across this, he's enough to turn the tables, but because you can only really make him late game. Put him in Iron. Theoden, Glorious Charge is all really he's good for. And again, that's... I think they moved Glorious Charge, but I don't know. I think we'll put Theoden Stone. I mean, he is better than Faramir. We might actually move him to Iron. I'll come back to him. Witch King. I mean, tanky as fuck, but also expensive. Actually, he can decimate units. I don't think he's at gold tier, because Gloin and Gorkill just... They set the standard. They set the gold standard. They're so fucking good. So I'm going to put him Iron. Gimli, he goes straight to gold. He's expensive, yes, but you give him Slayer, which he gets very early on. Leap. I mean, he's just a death machine. He's a hero killer. He's an army killer. He's amazing. The dwarves will be well respected. This isn't... I'm trying to be as partial as... or as impartial as I can possibly be. I'm sorry. Drogoth. I mean, if Gottlieb were here, he'd probably put a Mithril, because microwing Drogoth, just literally... You just have to be patient with Drogoth, just not committing too much. Literally just trying to only attack when he's got Fireball and his level 6 off cooldown. But all flying creatures die really quickly, but I guess... And it is a lot of money if you lose them. It's way more than if you lose a Fell Beast. You know what? I'm actually going to put... I mean, he's really a glass cannon, because he can do so much damage, but he can die really quickly. I've always seen him as a very big risk. And I'm very aware that if I keep doing this, I make like a dick shape. I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Iron or stone? I don't know. Because he's better than a Fell Beast. But then again, Fell Beasts are cheaper. I think we'll put him in Iron. Legolas... Kind of the same... He's the same price as Gimli, I think. I mean, he can do pretty good damage to heroes, but... Oh, I think... Because if we put Legolas in gold, where does Thranduil go? Thranduil just late game hero kill. I think we put him in Iron as well. Elrond is just the best all-rounder. I mean, decently priced, heal, damaged, he's got high health, Tornado at 7. But how much? I mean, he levels up really slowly, if I remember. I mean, Dane worse than Elrond? So many of them are going into Iron. I should have made an extra category, I think. Just almost as good for gold. Like, basically between gold and Iron is where I would actually put Legolas and Elrond. Aragorn, he goes in gold. Blade Master at level 2, Athelas, Leadership, and then Army of the Dead. Yeah, no, he's a powerhouse. He doesn't die. He'll kill your hero, and yeah. He basically counters everyone down here, except for Drogoth. Eowyn, yeah, we put her in Wood League. She doesn't do anything. Spear Throw, not really that good. So really, actually, only Boromir and Lurtz and Mithril, because they are the best meta picks. You could maybe argue for... maybe Gimli in there and Gloin. But I'm sure... I got way too many of them in Iron. I'm sure you guys are all going to yell at me for this. Maybe Elrond goes up. Maybe Dane. Maybe Mouth of Sauron. I mean, there's a lot here. Maybe Thranduil as well. I don't know. But there's a lot here. Anyway, tell me what you guys think. This is the quote-unquote official... No, clearly not official. This is the tier list for the Biffy 2 heroes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Or was I too harsh on anyone down here? Let me know. Alright, we're going to go to the next one. Back in a minute. Alright, we've done the Biff Me 2 heroes, now let's do the Lord of the Rings games. This isn't one I've made. As you can see, they didn't put in as much effort as I did because they didn't even customize the tier list. So obviously you got S is the highest and then D is the lowest. Why would you put D? Just put F. Come on now. So you'll notice that Biff Me 1's here and Rise of the Witch King is here, but Biff Me 2 is not actually here. So I think we'll just count Rise of the Witch King as Biff Me 2 as well since it was the expansion. Also, I haven't played all these games. I can only go by reputation in that regard. If I honestly don't know, I won't put them in. If I thought the Biff Me 2 hero list was divisive, in the sense that you guys have completely different opinions to me, then I'm pretty sure when it comes to games that we're definitely going to disagree. So let's get the easy ones out the way. Rise of the Witch King, S tier. Now I know I didn't like the campaign or Angmar faction, but I'm counting that as Biff Me 2. It's obviously going to go in S tier. Same with Biff Me 1, it started the whole thing. Great campaign. The factions themselves, obviously, in my opinion, not as good as in Biff Me 2, but the campaign alone and the fact that it started the whole thing puts it in S2. Aragorn's Quest. This came out for PlayStation 3 and the Wii. Do yourself a favor and just completely just erase it from your memory. There needs to be its own tier, just Aragorn's Quest tier, because that's how shite it is. You know my feelings about Lord of the Rings Conquest, I was not a fan. It was made by Pandemic, the people who made Battlefront. And I remember when I played the demo, I was expecting it to be as good as Battlefront, and then I just saw, I think it was Elendil in the first mission, or maybe Isildur, and they had like that weird fire sword, and it was just like, what the fuck are you doing? The heroes themselves were just slightly more powerful versions of base classes that were in the game, and I thought that was really unimaginative. Like, how are you going to give Gandalf the same abilities as the regular mage, but just slightly more powerful? I thought it was just incredibly lazy and really poorly done. I think we'll disagree, because I know a lot of people, like Lord of the Rings Conquest, but for me it gets a C, because it's not nearly as bad as Aragorn's Quest. I'll be surprised if other games are in that tier. Oh wait, Guardians of Middle-earth. This game sucked dick. I mean, Lord of the Rings, if it was made maybe by a Chinese developer and then, or if it was made in California and given a shit ton of Chinese backing, then it would probably be League of Legends. But yeah, no, it was just, the gameplay was so slow. It was overpriced as well. Like, you paid for it. How is a MOBA not going to be free to play? They charged you for it and then had the same business model as free to play. It was completely unbalanced. It was abandoned. It was full of bugs. It was abandoned after a few short months. They released it on PC as a cash grab, a pure cash grab, and it was just, the gameplay was just freaking awful. In fact, I might even put it in Aragorn's Quest, because it's nowhere near as bad as, or rather, Lord of the Rings Conquest is nearly as bad as that. So we'll put that in D tier. I don't like that game. I played it a lot, and I don't like it. Lord of the Rings Online, A. The only reason it doesn't get S tier is purely because it advertises itself as free-to-play like a lot of MMOs do, but really you have to subscribe to get the full experience. And even when you do subscribe, it tries to get every last cent from you. Like, even things like a premium wallet and then other things like that, it will charge you for even if you're a subscriber, which is silly. Unlike other MMOs, which will give you expansions for free as they come and go, this one you still have to buy, and it's a lot of Middle-earth you have to buy. So it's a solid game, it's very well worth it, play it, but it's not cheap, and that's probably why it doesn't get S2. Return of the King. A lot of people like this game. I thought it was okay. I played it on, I played it for the channel. I died a lot. I thought that it was very clunky, but I think for the time it was made, it was probably good. I give it bang average, we'll give it a B. And I think, therefore, that the same can be said of the Two Towers. Man, look at the 300s, they're so cool looking. The Hobbit game, you know what, it did its best. It just, for other platformers of its time, it really didn't control that well. Like, if you think of, not Spyro, I think it's called Sly Cooper, kind of the game that reminds me of for the PlayStation. It just is really clunky, and I don't know. I just don't think it was technically good enough to be anything higher than a C, so we'll put it there. Shadow of War, I actually really liked. I know there's some controversy about microtransactions in it, and just forget about all the lore. It's supposed to be independent of the established canon, so if you can put your head past that, it's actually a really good game. I put it A. Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor would probably be an A if Shadow of War isn't out. But given just how much better Shadow of War is with fortresses and all the expanded abilities, we'll put Shadow of Mordor as a B. War in the North. Again, another game that people liked, I just really didn't like. I thought that the classes and the combat was just really boring. And with games like that, if you don't hook someone in the combat since you'd be doing it for so long, then they're not going to enjoy it. And I thought it was grindy for just all the wrong reasons. I thought it was pretty boring. Third Age, this is another grindy game. It's sort of like, it's like a turn-based sort of Final Fantasy Tactics sort of game. I mean, this is purely subjective. I just fall asleep playing these games. I find them so boring. But You know what? I can actually acknowledge it's what it does right. So I think we'll put it in a B because I think it's a bit harsh. Because I don't actually hate that game. Whereas War in the North and Conquest, I really, really don't like. Lord of the Rings Tactics. That's probably another turn-based one. I've never played that. We'll leave it. The Lego games. I played Complete Saga, and then I haven't played a Lego game since then. I played the demo of both of them, and they just sort of go through the motions. Don't do anything special. So I don't know. Like this, like B is technically the middle score, but in my opinion, the Lego games aren't nearly as good as Return of the King and Shadow of Mordor. So I think we'll just put them here. War of the Ring, Tactics, and then is this just the Fellowship one, but 2 towers? I'm guessing it is. We'll put that in B since it's the film game. There we go. Yeah, I haven't played these two. So yeah, this is my tier list for video games. Are there any Lord of the Rings games that are that have been made that aren't there? I think maybe that other RTS, I forget what it's called. It's sort of like Warcraft, but with the Lord of the Rings skin on it. Warcraft RTS, like the playstyle is pretty much identical. I never actually played it myself, but I know the Adane team borrow a lot of voices from that. I don't know, I'd probably give that a B as well. So anyway, this is my tier list. Agree, disagree, let me know. Okay, and now on to the final tier. And last but not least, a tier list with just the Lord of the Rings films. I mean, there's 6, that really isn't enough. So the one that I found actually has Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I know there are a lot of Lord of the Rings fans that aren't Star Wars fans and vice versa. But me, myself, I love both. I probably love Lord of the Rings a little bit more. But they're both great. And, as always, I'm pretty sure you guys will have a different opinion to me on this. And my list will be a lot different. So, again, let me know. So, let's get the easy ones out of the way first. Is that supposed to be... Okay, this is Empire Strikes Back. That gets S tier. And Fellowship of the Ring was my favorite of the original trilogy, so that's S tier. These are the gold standard. These are the ones... These set the benchmark. These are the ones where all other films are judged. Let me see. Attack of the Clones, D. I just cannot stand that movie. I mean, the dialogue is beyond cringy. The action, which when I first watched it as a kid, I thought it was actually really good. But looking back, it's just awful. Oh my god. Like, even the Colosseum battle, I don't like. Except for Mace Windu cutting off Jango's head. I can't get into the rest of it. I think it's really boring. Battle of Five Armies, same. Oh. The Last Jedi. You know what? These are, compared to that, these are actually not that bad. Last Jedi gets its own tier. This is A New Hope, right? Yes. So that gets, you know what? New Hope. A New Hope started the whole thing, and it was amazing, but, like, it's not as good as Empire Strikes Back, so I'm gonna have to give it an A. Revenge of the Sith, I'm gonna have to give an A as well. It's flawed. I feel like Anakin's descent into the dark side is just incredibly sudden. Like, he goes from, I don't know, cut off Mace Windu's hand, to I'm kill younglings. No matter what you feel about that movie, that is a significant jump. I don't think anyone bought him killing younglings. That was just crazy. That is the epitome of evil, killing a little kid. So, I mean, so that's what I mean by it's flawed, but it's still very enjoyable. Ewan McGregor at his sexiest. No homo. That's Phantom Menace. That goes with Attack of the Clones. Lord of the Rings, 2 Towers. No, that's Return of the King. That goes there. Actually, what am I talking about? They just all go in S tier. They really do. They're just all great. Like, arguably, Fellowship of the Ring is my favorite. But when I think about that, it's purely because I like the Fellowship together, and I thought Boromir is my favorite character in Lord of the Rings. So, those are very minute reasons as to why, like, overall as films, it would be better in my eyes. But that's incredibly subjective. Objectively, they're all great. Is this Rise of Skywalker? That's watchable. It's flawed in so many ways. The more I think about them bringing back Palpatine, the more I want to scream into a pillow. Actually, it's not as bad as Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace. Surprisingly. I will put it there. Return of the Jedi gets an A. Force Awakens. Again, same problems as Rise of Skywalker, but we kind of didn't know where the story was going then and how little of a plan they actually had. So I think it's actually better than Rise of Skywalker. Oh, but it's nowhere near as good as the original trilogy. What am I doing? I guess it will have to go there. I think it's a little bit better than Rise of Skywalker, but not good enough to warrant a tier leap. We're missing... Oh yeah, Unexpected Journey. I actually really like that film. Is it as good as... I think it's funny. I've got like 2 of the original trilogy and then the entire trilogy there. Like you can see I like Lord of the Rings a little bit better. Desolation of Smaug is enjoyable. And you know what? Again, the same reason that Force Awakens is in there. I'm going to put Unexpected Journey in there as well. Because while it's better than all these other films, it's not good enough to be amongst A New Hope. So yeah, there we go. What do you guys think? I think that's a pretty good tier list. I think that's a good tier list. You know, I'm genuinely interested to see what you guys think. I'll probably be fucking angry because someone has a different opinion, but I'm actually interested to see what you guys think. Anyone who disagrees with Empire Strikes Back, I don't think you should be allowed to watch movies. And then obviously the original trilogy is obviously at the top. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I was thinking there's so many tier lists here. There's so many fun ones. Some that actually just for nostalgia's sake, there's a lot of fun ones. So if you guys want to see me make my own tier lists or even live stream it maybe, then let me know in the comments. But as always, will I see you next time? Who knows? Stay tuned for the next exciting episode of Ruud Ball Z. See you next time. Bye-bye.